Another story we are following, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, an undocumented migrant here in the U.S., rejected an offer to be moved to Costa Rica in exchange for pleading guilty to human smuggling charges. Now, the Trump administration says he could be deported to Uganda, but his lawyers are challenging that. Scripps News legal affairs correspondent Joy Burnett is following this case for us. And Joy, there are so many moving parts here. What is the latest?
Hey there, Andrew. Well, as you mentioned, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, he was an undocumented migrant who was living in Maryland here in the United States before he was wrongfully deported to El Salvador, then sent back to the United States. Well, we learned that last week the Department of Justice gave him an offer to deport him to Costa Rica, where he would be free and classified as a refugee if he pleaded guilty in a federal case in Tennessee and then go through the legal process here in the United States. That is an offer that he rejected. And then we learned that the Trump administration has plans to possibly deport him to Uganda. Right now, we know that his attorneys are fighting that.
Nunca pierdan la esperanza.
Never lose hope.
Kilmar Abrego Garcia back in ICE custody just days after being released from jail.
Mr. Abrego Garcia was taken into custody by ICE this morning.
The 30-year-old Salvadoran was wrongfully deported in March to El Salvador, despite a previous court order prohibiting him from being sent there. He was brought back to the U.S. in June, where he was charged with human trafficking. He'd been in a Tennessee jail awaiting a January trial, but was released Friday. And when he showed up for an immigration check-in in Baltimore Monday, he was taken back into federal custody. The Trump administration has accused Abrego Garcia of being an MS-13 gang member. He has denied that and pleaded not guilty to human smuggling charges. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said authorities are processing him for deportation. Immigration officials say they plan to deport Abrego Garcia to Uganda.
It really is very clear that the government is far more interested in throwing around their weight and demonstrating what they think is their power to do whatever they want, whenever they want, to whoever they want.
Lawyers for Abrego Garcia filed a new lawsuit challenging his current confinement and potential deportation until they say he has a fair trial. In May, a Maryland judge ordered that there needs to be a grace period of 2 business days before the government can deport someone so that courts can review their cases. And a Maryland judge says Abrego Garcia must remain in the continental United States while he fights this potential deportation. And there's a possibility that a hearing could be set for as early as this Friday, Andrew.
And Joy, if he does end up in Uganda, what would happen to him? Any clues there?
Yeah, his attorneys are just not sure at this point. They're saying they're not sure if he would be a free person there or if he would be in prison. But what we do know is that Uganda's deal with the United States says people who are deported there should have no criminal history. So it's unclear if the United States would eventually drop charges against Kilmar Abrego Garcia if they decide to send him to Uganda. Andrew?
Scripps News legal affairs correspondent Joy Burnett for us. Joy, thank you.